Welcome to the Elevated Marketing podcast show that is designed for business owners and marketers who are tired of overhyped advice. We talk through what we're testing, we challenge assumptions, and we share what's really happening in the world of marketing, which is messy, creative, and always evolving. Welcome to the show. Hello, and welcome back to Elevated Marketing podcast. You know, the show where we talk about marketing, and we've been talking about marketing for years. My name is Jennifer Denny, and I am the owner and founder of Elevated Marketing Solutions. So today, let's talk about Google AI overviews and AI mode, and is it affecting your website traffic? Quite possibly. I'm just going to go kind of higher overview is a lot of people are looking at how AI and marketing is changing marketing. I mean, there's no doubt in that. And one of the biggest things that we see is that possibly you have less traffic. And, that was a big measurement in marketing was traffic to your website. And you might be seeing less, but not everybody is seeing less traffic. As per usual, the answer is going to be in your data. But, what we're talking about today, though, is AI mode and AI overviews, which is very specific to Google. We're not talking about the broader AI and marketing. We'll get to that not really in a second, but let's just talk about Google AI overviews and Google AI mode. So this is just when you're Googling and you're seeing at the top when you first make a Google search. For the most part, you're seeing an answer show up at the top. And then sometimes you'll see over to the right the possibility to click over to a website. That is AI overviews. AI mode is when you click from there and start having a conversation and you start going back and forth with AI mode and getting through all the questions that you might have about a particular subject. What's important to make that distinction, though, is that Google AI overviews, Google AI mode is completely different than ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, all these other places that people might be searching. And we've talked about that in separate blogs, but I just want to make the distinction that they are different companies. They are owned by different entities. They are not the same. They have completely different algorithms. Maybe they're trying to steal a little bit off of each other, but Google is the reliable one. And I do have my bets on Google. I don't think that AI is going away, and I don't think necessarily even ChatGPT, which is the number one out of ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Claude, is going away. Like, that's a really evolving, market over there. I just know that Google is pretty ingrained with a lot of people, and we're not seeing like any less overall usage of Google. We're just seeing less traffic because when people are using Google, they're getting their answers maybe in those Google AI overviews or AI modes. So, this is Google's search environment, and Google has maintained that things have not changed and that foundational SEO is still matters. Is there probably a little bit of change? Yes, they're probably looking over at ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Claude, and maybe making a little bit of difference. I mean, obviously, it was a big deal to move away from, answering directly in there more and more. They were a little bit for like times and some stuff, but they went even more inside of that. But Google is pretty steady. It's a pretty large company. I have a lot of faith in it. One thing that I really like though is that it is still more measurable than any of the other AI platforms. None of them have been giving us any information, and I've been maintaining that. So, depending on what kind of circles you're running into, if you're running into highly techie people, they might be using it more than you think. But I think a lot of people are still using it as a tool and maybe some searching going on. Who knows? I just wish they would share the data. Like, let's all try to understand. But I also understand why they're not sharing it, because if they did, then, perception is reality for them. But if your traffic is going away, you should go look in Google Search Console with the information that it's giving you. They're not telling you Google AI overviews and AI mode and what's separated out. They're just giving you the overall. So you might see like a lot more impressions, not as much clicks, because they get to the website and they're ready to buy because they did a lot of search and research out there. So there are some things that you should do differently about the content that you should create. And, we've put a lot of this on our website to try to help as much, but it is going to be very particular to your industry, your situation. Local is not affected as much. It's certainly been a lot better in Google than over in these other AI tools. So, is your Google traffic being affected? For some of our clients, yes, depending on their situation before. Maybe they had crap, simple questions being asked on the website and they weren't really honed in on who they are and who they service, and they were trying to be everything to everyone. That's a possibility. And so, the more that we can make it specific to who you need to focus on, the better that it's going to be. So your traffic might be going backwards, but remember, the most important thing are you getting those phone calls, form fills, driving directly to the sales? In our world, that's conversions and key events. They do mean the same thing for the most part in our marketing world, but that is what really matters. There's a lot going on at the beginning of the funnel when people are searching all around, and so you got to be consistent. Just like we are on this show, we're constantly talking about marketing, and we know marketing really well, and we keep up to date with everything that is changing. So if you're trying to make sure that you understand all these nuances, we're focused on the data, what it can tell us, and how we can help grow your business. So, all right, I hope this was helpful. My name is Jennifer Denney, Denney. I do put all of these articles out on LinkedIn, but you can always head over to our website at elevatedmarketing.solutions and certainly sign up for our email there as well. I hope everybody has a great day and take care.